When you're designing a new product, it's always a good idea to talk with customers. But sometimes you just don't have the time to find the right people and interview them. Well, here's a shortcut called review mining that lets you do surprisingly deep customer research quickly. Here to explain review mining are Nicole Jendro and Marice from Geocaching, both graduates of our Game Thinking Masterclass.
My name is Nicole. I work at Geocaching HQ. I am currently the product manager of the mobile team.
I'm Marice. I am the product designer on the Geocaching mobile app.
Geocaching is a game you play with your phone or GPS device where you go to a set of coordinates and then you look for something. Very often it's a container that someone else has hidden. And so it's a great way to explore a neighborhood or while traveling.
Review mining starts by reading reviews of your product or a competitor's product and noticing what people are saying.
And Nicole came to me and was like, hey, Marice, we have this project we want to do next year. We want to ship it pretty soon. The problem was it was late November and it was going to be hard to find people to interview in December. So I thought, okay, how do I get opinions from super fans without having to interview them? Specifically, ones who just recently started the game, because we were focusing on that new user. I looked at the reviews of the app on iOS and Android and found that a lot of the reviews were from people who had just started playing the game, and they were very much fans because they were leaving 4- and 5-star reviews.
For every project, we always look at how we can get data and information. This is the hypothesis. This is how we will get to answer those questions. And with this process, I think we shaved off about a month of work.
To analyze the reviews, the geocaching team used a game thinking technique called the habit loop or game loop. The loop starts with a repeated cue or trigger, which leads into a pleasurable, repeatable activity, followed by skill building feedback, and a way to make progress that gets you more deeply invested. Every high retention product is built around a strong habit loop.
So here's how we did the review analysis. I got text from the last 63 reviews from the Play Store. I only got the ones that did 4+ stars. And I also made sure that it included some reason why they like it. So I took these reviews and I turned them into stickies. I just arranged them into this looks like a cue. This looks like a repeatable, pleasurable activity. Clumped those all together. And then from there, I sorted them into common ones. So for example, here is one. Makes me want to walk, gets me moving, great exercise, best fitness app yet, an excuse to get out and walk, a nice day wanting to do something outside. So a nice day tends to be a good cue for people to go out geocaching. Spending time with others, found a lot of people getting a lot of family, love caching with my family, want to go to my voice, fun with the family. So all right, the repeatable pleasurable activity is spending time with others, which was really interesting because I was expecting to find, people really loved finding the boxes. But there was a lot more of spending time with others than finding things. With the same skill building feedback, we realized people figured out that they were doing the right thing when they found the cache. So the finding the cache was not actually really the pleasurable thing. It was the thing that tells them we did it.
The next step is to synthesize the product review insights you found into habit stories, which capture the most common behavioral patterns. A habit story is simply a job story that's built around an existing habit. When I experience a situation, I want to take an action so I can achieve a desired result.
I just took a lot of these stickies and just clumped them together into habit stories. When I have a date night coming up, I want to pick a fun geocache so we can have fun together. When it's a nice sunny weekend, I want to take my kids geocaching so we can spend time together. When I'm traveling, I want to find geocaches so I can learn about the city. When I've been sitting at home all day, I want to go geocaching so I have motivation to walk. When I'm bored, I want to look for a geocache so I can discover cool places in my neighborhood. Just from this review, we were able to come up with 5 real habit stories that we were able to test with interviewees down the road. We were able to build wireframes and mockups and create a concept already based on these. We were able to jump straight into concept testing.
Writing habit stories help the geocaching team pinpoint new opportunities for product features, which they then tested quickly by walking customers through storyboards. Using review mining, the team surfaced customer insights around categories of interest and then use those insights to create an explore page mockup.
We found that, hey, there's an opportunity here to choose which geocache to find. What can we do to help people get from cue and trigger to the repeatable, pleasurable activity? At this point, we had moved on to an explore page instead of notifications because we found that notifications were less used as a way to show people suggested caches. I took the explore page concept and then made different scenarios. So for this one, this is someone who just wanted to go for a walk. They opened the geocaching app, and here is like the low fidelity explore page. I'll ask them, imagine this is your home screen. Which do you want? Like, I guess I'll do like easy finds nearby. And then I would show them this one. And they'll go to geocache details, go for a walk and find it. They go back home, they're happy. That's one scenario. And I'd ask them for final thoughts.
Would people want to search for caches in this way? Well, it was certainly something worth testing. But customer research is full of surprises. Here are some non-obvious insights that the geocaching team uncovered.
We learned that those recommendations that were tailored specifically for that user type, people didn't necessarily trust them as much. We had a lot of people see this list, for instance, the Great for Kids one, would be like, how old are the kids? Does this person who placed this cache actually know what it's like to have a kid? They were slightly more skeptical of opinion-based ones. Those did not speak to people as well as popular and newly published. They much more trusted the objective data. Hey, a lot of people like this, and this is new. So that was really interesting.
As soon as we found this out, it was like that moment when you learn something and suddenly you kind of relax and, oh, that makes so much sense. That was my favorite moment in this research.
I was surprised to find that finding the geocache was secondary to spending time with friends and family, or at least like on par. And the second that was also surprising is the traveling use case. I thought that would be a really small one. It turns out a lot of people, like when they first start geocaching, are doing it when they travel.
I was actually more surprised by the date night because I know like we have a lot of really fun stories from the community where people met through geocaching or proposed through geocaching, but I didn't realize that was such a common activity on dates as well.
A lot of surprising things, I think, came up. And I think it shifted the way we started thinking about the product.
And that's how the creative team at Geocaching used review mining to accelerate research and development. Review mining doesn't replace talking to customers, but it can be a fast, convenient way to kickstart your research efforts and inform your prototyping. Try using review mining as a shortcut when you're squeezed for time, or as a tool to supplement your customer interviews and playtests. And when you combine review mining with game thinking techniques like the habit loop and habit stories, you can gain insights that lead directly to new product features. To learn more about how geocaching innovates, check out this video. Let's get smarter together. I'll see you next week.